As we discussed yesterday, Kasho Technology is providing two remoting solutions. Java RMI is one of the solutions. By using Java RMI, we saw how we did yesterday. There are two more solutions from Kasho Technology, Hessian and Burlap. These are two solutions. Now we'll see how to write Spring applications using these two solutions, Hessian and Burlap. Hessian, like RMI, uses binary messages to communicate within client and server. In RMI, the protocol was IOP. But here, Hessian has their own specific protocol, and they exchange messages. What type of messages? They also exchange binary messages. In case of RMI also, it was exchanging messages using the protocol, IOP protocol. I said it will create a map, it will put the method invocation details in a map and serialize the map. So Java RMI was using IOP protocol, and by using IOP protocol it was serializing the object for transfer. Serializing means what? Binary objects only, binary messages only. So in Java RMI also binary messages were used. In Hessian also binary messages are used to communicate between the client and server, and they had their own protocol. However, unlike binary remoting technologies such as RMI, unlike RMI, binary messages are portable to languages other than Java. The binary messages, when using Java RMI, are not portable to C, C++. But these binary messages which are used by Hessian are portable to other languages. This is the advantage of Hessian technology, Hessian solution. Burlap. Burlap, on the other hand, is an XML based remoting technology. It will exchange messages between client and server using XML, which automatically makes it portable to any language. When the messages are exchanged using XML, it will be portable to any language. So if you have exposed your remote object in Java, a C++ client can also access it. And because it's XML, it is more human readable than Hessian binary format. In Hessian solution, it was binary message. In Burlap, the messages are XML, so it is human readable. So unlike XML based remoting technologies like SOAP or XMRPC, Burlap's message structure is as simple as possible and does not require external definition language. In case of web services, we use SOAP, Simple Object Access Protocol. There we need a file called WSDL, Web Service Definition Language, to define our web service. Here, this Burlap is also an XML based remoting technique, just like SOAP. SOAP is also XML based remoting technique. Just like SOAP, Burlap also is XML based, but it is very simple. The message structure is very simple, and it does not require a separate definition language like WSDL. WSDL file is not required for Burlap. Okay, let us try to write a simple example on both of them. So I will be able to explain what all this means clearly by this example. Okay, first see here. First I'll show you. Like yesterday, what I want to do is now today. I have a hello service interface and hello service IMPL. Okay, now I have this hello service IMPL and hello service. Now what I want to do is I want to make this class to be accessible remotely by using Hessian service first. Yesterday, using remoting technique, what I did, I used RMI service exporter to export my service, hello service, as a remote object. Similarly, here also, when integrating Spring with Kasho technology, Kasho solution, here also we have a Hessian service exporter. Just like RMI service exporter which we used, SDN service exporter, and we have to give there are two dependencies for SDN service. What is the service? Means what is the actual service which you want to export, and also what is the service interface which it is implementing. That's all. So just if you configure this bean in your Spring XML file and start application, this class hello service will be exported as a remote object. We can access it remotely through a client, right? But the difference between RMI service exporter and SDN service exporter is, this is nothing but a Spring controller. Yesterday we saw about Spring MVC, right? Controller is nothing but request handler. Whenever a new HTTP request comes to the dispatcher servlet, the front controller has to map the request to request handler. Request handler is nothing but the controller. So here in this case, SDN service exporter is nothing but a Spring MVC controller, right? Now, if I have to access this remote service which is exported by this exporter, what I need to do is I need to give a HTTP request. The request comes to this controller, but in that HTTP request the messages will be transferred. This HTTP service exporter knows how to extract the messages from the HTTP request and invoke the service. So here the protocol which is used in this is HTTP for communication. When using HTTP protocol, the messages which are transferred are binary messages, right? Okay. So now let us try to use this SDN service. For this we need to create a web application, right? Because it's a controller. Earlier it was a core Java application when using remoting. Now we'll create a new web application. SDN remoting. Next. When it is a web application, the first thing we need to do is we need to configure in web.xml. In MVC application, the front controller is a servlet. Yesterday I configured dispatcher servlet. So the same I'll copy paste. Copy the lib folder what I gave into this web-inf lib and paste. It will not allow to paste in Java EE perspective. Go to Java perspective, then it will allow.
Paste the clip and click on the clip file and paste it.
I have to copy individually then.
No, just copy that one. Control C. Copy and paste it.
But inside lib it will paste.
Yeah, it will paste.
Another lib will come. No, this is not what I want. Okay, once we have done this, the first step, then in a Spring MVC application the XML file name will be here. Sapient is the servlet name. Sapient-servlet.xml will be the XML file where I have to configure all my beans. So I'll configure that inside web-inf. New other in Spring Bean configuration file. Sapient-servlet.xml. XML. Here, in this case, I need to configure a bean for my hello service first. ID is equals to hello service, class is equals to, oh, I didn't copy the classes from there. So one thing is, you copy the classes from your remoting project earlier, com.sapient, into your Java source. Then class is equals to hello service IMPL. So I defined this is my class which I want to expose as a remote class. Then second step is create a bean class is equals to Hessian service exporter. I have to give the ID as HS I'll give hello service, and it has two dependencies. Service, it refers to hello service, and another dependency service interface value is equals to hello service. These two things are the dependencies. Now, as I said, this is a controller. In Spring MVC, while talking about the Spring MVC yesterday, okay, see here, whenever a request comes to dispatcher servlet, the dispatcher servlet has to map the request to this controller. It will use the help of handler mapping. The default handler mapping is bean name URL handler mapping. Yesterday we used it. Now today I am going to use another handler mapping called as simple URL handler mapping. Right? So I'll just configure it. Just see. I'm going to create a bean. Class is equals to simple URL handler mapping. It has some dependencies. Mappings is of type properties. So properties means I have to use a tag called prop. Then here I need to write prop. Key is equals to the URL, okay, slash hello.htm to this controller HS. So now when any request coming with hello.htm comes, this is the controller which will be invoked, right? So now if I want to invoke this remote service, I have to make a HTTP request ending with this hello.htm, and along with this HTTP request I have to send a request using the Hessian protocol, Hessian specific binary message format, right? So I need to write a client. Now my server is completed. I will write a separate XML, client.xml. See, this XML is in WebINF. This is for a web application. Now my client can be any standalone client. I could write a separate application or a standalone application, but here only I'll write now client.xml. Hessian client.xml. Sorry, I wrote class. Hessian client.xml. Now see how to write the client. Just like yesterday we used RMI proxy factory bin, here also Hessian proxy factory bin. It can make a request on behalf of the client. For this there are two dependencies. We have to give the URL with which we want to invoke. The URL is same, ending with /hello.html. And what is the interface? So that now whenever I say factory.getBean hello service, I will get a proxy, because it's a proxy factory bin. Proxy to which class? Proxy to, and that proxy will be implementing, right? So this will create a proxy which will be implementing this interface, right? So first I'll export, I'll create that Hessian proxy factory bin inside my XML. ID is equals to HS, I'll say class is equals to Hessian proxy factory bin, and there are two dependencies: service URL. What is this URL type? URL type is a string. I'll inject the value is equals to, what is the URL? HTTP // my server host is localhost, the port number for me is 6060, I change the port number, / the application name is Hessian remoting, / here I configured hello.html. This is the URL through which I can access. Then the other one, name is equals to service interface, value is equals to hello service. So now I define a proxy. That's it. Now I can write my client. In my client program, I can get this bin and invoke the methods on hello service. That's all. First complete this. Write Hessian client.java file. I'll take main. Here I'll create an application context object. And it has to read Hessian client.xml. Then I'll say context dot get bean. Bean name is the HS I gave there, and the class is hello service. Now I can take it in a reference of the interface. Then I can call that HS dot say hello, and the name is XY, whatever. So now see here, when I said context dot get bean HS, Will it give me an object of SCN proxy factory bin? No. It's a proxy factory bin. It will create a object. It will create a proxy and return the proxy. Right? It will create a proxy and that proxy will be implementing hello service. So that is the reason why I took it in a reference of the interface type. Now when I am calling say hello, I am calling a method on a proxy. In this say hello method, what it will do? It will make a HTTP request to this URL, whatever has been given. And when making a request, it will pass all the information to the controller. Which is the controller? This is the controller. Right? Whenever the request comes, this controller will extract the method invocation details. What method invoke, what are the parameters, and it knows what is the remote service to be executed. It will call the method on this object, return the results again through HTTP. Right? This is how it works. Now what I will do is I will start the web application first. One minute, I will explain. Okay.
There is the proxy, it will return the proxy.
Client can be a standalone client,
Standalone, right?
but on the server side, the remote where the remote service is existing, it is a web application. It is running inside a web container. Yeah, now the service started. What is it saying? It said some exception. Class not found.
Some dependent class.
Yes, call show class. And just check the libraries. Found dot. Yeah, dependent libraries are not present for Fasha, so I'll just add them here. See here in dependencies there will be. What is the class not found starting with? com.coshow.scn, right? Now see here com dot coshow.scn. Yes, here is the file. I need to keep this file. Now I should start again. Yeah, I think it started without any exceptions now. Yes, no exceptions. Now run the client and check whether you are getting the output or not. I got an exception. What is it? Oh, I think it's not in. It should be in source. Yeah, see, I got the output for my Java client.